Happy New Year, everyone! This is 2022. Last year, nagkita-kita tayo to talk about a stock that is now listed in the stock market. One of the dreams that we have in adulting stage is to have a warm and cozy home of our own, diba? Today, we will get to know a real estate company that focuses on house and lot line of business. And do they have what it takes to get your buy-in? We will find out here in Wink Live with Haus Talk. I'm your host. Na-miss nyo ba ako? Na-miss ko kayo. Saan tayo nanonood ngayon? I know there's a surge in cases na naman, and I hope that you guys are well. And sa mga suki dito, I'm your host, China Barrechina. Alam kong kilala nyo na ako. And this is the first ever episode for this year, 2022. Tingnan natin kung maging maganda ang ating buena mano ngayong taon na to. And sino ba dito ang mga naghahanap ng bahay? Sino ba dito ang member ng Homebodies Facebook group? 'Di ba? Sabi nga ni Sir Nikki, I remember he said about the house formation is growing even faster than the population itself. And tingnan natin if it counts to that since this is house and lot na mismo. And so this is how we treat our My Trade clients. We get to inform you guys of what you need to know in the stock market. And for this today, we will talk about House Talk. And with this, let me remind you that we will not read comments from anonymous senders. So if this is the first time that you're watching from StreamYard, please grant access to us. At para rin makita natin yung mga pretty faces kapag nag-shout out kami or nag-flash kami ng questions on screen. So later on, we will meet the people, the face behind House Talk. What do they offer? And also we'll have a chance to do a Q&A with them. And without further ado, let me show you this video for introduction.
Maria Rachel D. Madlambayan, Director and President. Ms. Madlambayan holds the position of President and Chief Operating Officer of HAUSTALK Incorporated from April 2007 up to present. She also serves as the President and Chief Operating Officer of Allied Community Builders and Development Incorporated and Tradition Homes Incorporated. She is also the President of Tradition Solar Energy Generation Incorporated. Ms. Madlambayan graduated Bachelor of Science in Mathematics at St. Scholastica College. Maria Agnes M. Siapno. Ms. Siapno is the Chief Finance Officer of HAUSTALK Incorporated since April 2021. She also serves as Vice President for Finance and Accounting of Tradition Homes Incorporated and Allied Community Builders and Development Incorporated, and serves as the Comptroller of Tradition Solar Energy Generation Incorporated. She served as the Corporate Secretary of HAUSTALK Incorporated. She studied Bachelor of Science in Commerce, major in Entrepreneurship at Assumption College. Mr. J. Mariano P. Ocampo, Managing Director, Equity Capital Markets. With over 40 career lead underwriter roles for initial public offerings, stock right offerings, and follow-on offerings, and private placement offerings of listed equity securities in the Philippine Stock Exchange, Mr. Ocampo has raised over 50 billion pesos in career equity offering transactions and 5 billion pesos in loan arrangements for industries in shipping, construction materials, telecommunications, utilities, and transport. He was the former director for corporate finance at the Abacus Capital and Investment Corporation, with previous postings at ICCP, City Trust Banking Corporation, and Union Bank of the Philippines. He studied AB Economics and BS Management at the De La Salle University Manila and Masters of Business Administration at University of the Philippines.
All right. So without further ado, let me call on Miss Rachel Madlangbayan. Hi, ma'am. Good
Hi, good
afternoon.
afternoon and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So I'll give you the floor so you can present, and then later on we will call on the rest.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maria Rachel Madlambayan, President of Haus Talk Incorporated. This is a milestone for the Madlambayan family. We consider this part of our journey to grow further what was once a humble business into possibly an even more exciting and progressive publicly listed company. Thank you for the opportunity to present our company. Each and every member of our family has a key role in our organization. As a family, we started doing property developments in the 90s. We started doing socialized housing and we thought we should be serious about it. So we established Haus Talk Incorporated formally in 2004. Throughout the years, we've been consistently developing projects of the same nature across Luzon, in Antipolo, Quezon City, Marikina, and Laguna. Because of our success throughout the years, we thought we are confident enough to file our IPO with the PSE and SEC in 2021. And now here we are, the first SME listed company under the new rules of the PSE. This is our corporate structure. In 2021, we consolidated all our independent companies to Haus Talk Incorporated. Since 2004, we've been busy doing various projects in Luzon, and we concentrated our work in NCR, Antipolo, and Laguna. We have completed 5 projects which varies from single attached units, townhouses, and a medium-rise condominium, which generated a total revenue of 379 million. In NCR, we have completed 2 projects in Antipolo, namely Eastview Homes 1 and 2. We sold 235 single attached units with a total revenue of 295 million pesos. In the south, we have 3 completed projects. They were townhouses, duplexes, and single attached units, and we had generated a total revenue of 534 million from the 413 units. And also for now on our ongoing, number 1, we have Eastview Homes 3. They are single attached units and is 82% sold. And we are expecting to bring in sales of 981 million pesos more or less upon completion. Next, Eastview Residences Premier, which is also located in Antipolo. It is 93% sold and are all single attached units, and we are expecting a revenue of 131 million pesos. Number 3, Southview Homes Santa Rosa comprises of 261 single attached units. Despite the pandemic, we were able to sell 95% of our inventory. This will bring in sales of 502 million upon completion. And then number 4, Southview Homes Calendola. We have a mix of townhouses and single attached with a total of 292 units. We had sold 47% of the total number of units and are expected to generate at least 677 million pesos. This quarter of 2022, we will be launching 4 projects, 3 in Antipolo, which are Celestis 1 and 2, and Eastview condominiums, and one in Quezon City within the vicinity of Ateneo de Manila and University of the Philippines, which will be called 50 Hawkson Residences. Next slide, please. Next slide. That is our 50 Hawkson Residences. This will be our first high-end project, and we are projecting a sales of at least 287 million pesos. For our pipeline projects, we have one, Mariveles property, which is comprised of 2,200 units. This is within the 5-kilometer radius of the Freeport zone of Bataan. As per Pag-ibig, they have 60,000 members who are working from the Freeport, and we are only targeting 5% of that population. We are projecting a sales of at least 2.6 billion pesos. Number 2, we have Hinapao Antipolo. It is a 1.6 hectare, and we will construct 150 units. We are expecting a revenue of 530 million pesos, more or less. Number 3, Southview Homes Extension. It is also located in San Pedro, Laguna. It is contiguous to our Southview Homes 2. We will be having 83 units with an expected revenues of 240 million pesos. Number 4, for our Calasiao project, this is in Pangasinan, which is a 5-hectare property. We will be targeting an economic market. We are expecting to generate a total of 1.3 billion pesos revenues from the 460 million from the 460 units rather, sorry. As mentioned a while ago, we are siblings who work for our company. We have invited 2 independent directors. Next slide, please. Next slide. We have invited 2 independent directors, Attorney Angelico Salud, who used to be the president of National Home Mortgage Finance Corporation, and Mr. George Richard Siton, who used to head the socialized housing construction of FINMA Property Holdings Corporation. This management team has led the company successfully throughout the 17 years. We would like to thank the following reasons why we have been continually growing for the 17 years. Number 1, familiarity with Antipolo and Laguna. Its geography and consumers has enabled the company to develop the right product for its market. Solid, long-standing, mutually beneficial relationships with the brokers, agents, suppliers, and clients. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. Location, location, location. We are very meticulous when selecting areas to develop for our projects. Our strength is in assessing the suitability, saleability of the properties to our market. Number 3, we have the right product for the right market. We know that the majority of the Filipinos are within this market. Data show that there's an unserved demand of 6.7 million housing units nationwide, majority of which are within this socialized to economic housing segment. Our projects cater perfectly to this market. And then teamwork amongst the family members. We are hands-on on every single detail, especially on our designs and construction. Next slide. As a good corporate citizen, we are regularly involved in CSR activities. Haus Talk has been consistently profitable throughout the years. The company is also able to control its costs by having its own construction team to work on the projects, thus improving profitability. To give you more details about the financials of our company, I will turn you over to my sister, our CFO, Agnes. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year to all. Allow me to present to you the financial highlights of our company, Haus Talk Inc., for the period of 2018 to the first half of 2021. Next slide, please. Looking at the revenue trend, the company continues to post a higher revenue and net income through the years 2018 to the first half of 2021. In 2019, there was a significant decrease in revenue and net income, mainly due to the delay in the release of our licenses to sell for our two new projects in Antipolo and Laguna. In 2020, sales started to recover as our licenses to sell for our new projects were released. Despite the effects of the pandemic in most businesses, our company continued to generate sales and posted a higher revenue and net income. Surprisingly, market reaction to the pandemic in terms of their preference in buying their homes shifted to nearby areas outside Metro Manila. They opted to live away from the city, having their own space, feel safer from the virus, and have access to open spaces within the community. This market demand has driven our sales to an upward trend, thus becoming our company's leverage. In the first half of 2021, with the availability of vaccines and gradual lifting of government restrictions and opening of the economy, the company likewise generated the higher revenue by 72% and net income by 100% compared to the same period in 2020. Moving forward, we expect and are hopeful to accelerate our growth in terms of assets, total revenues, and net income in the years to come. Moving on to our assets, in 2018, the company's consolidated assets increased to 2.6 billion. Assets showed a steady growth through the years. It is due to land acquisition, development of new and existing projects, and house construction activities. Loans and supplier credit lines were also availed to support our land acquisition, development of new and existing projects. The company has maintained healthy ratios between its assets, liabilities, and equity. The company's average debt to equity ratio of 0.25 for the last 3 years. Thank you, and I will turn you over back to Ms. Rachel.
Thank you, Agnes. We will now focus on the key strategies of Haus Talk to sustain growth and profitability. The company will be focusing on the market segment where demand and backlog remain substantial, which are the socialized, economic, mid-market housing segments. It should be noted, however, that these segments are also covered and supported by government housing agencies, such as the HDMF or Pag-ibig, to help buyers attain their dreams of owning their own homes. Next, please. To enhance the completed projects of the company and also to establish new recurring revenue system, the company plans to establish commercial property development like strip malls in its various completed and ongoing projects that would stores or shops that would provide goods and services for the families living in the various house stock communities. Most, if not all, of the company's projects have areas set aside for the development of such commercial properties. Given the hefty pipeline and the proceeds to be raised from the IPO, House Stock will be focusing on executing and completing its ongoing, newly launched and pipeline projects, which would really keep the company busy over the 3 years. Next, funds and profits generated from these projects will then be set aside for new projects in the future, and these are already in the drawing boards. The company is also looking at the new technologies for its backroom and construction works. The new ERP is being deployed to streamline the backroom operation of the company as it scales up activity. New construction system technologies, on the other hand, that will allow for building housing units in a faster, more efficient, cost-effective manner will also be acquired by Haus Talk. Going now to the company's plan
use of the IPO proceeds, which are really consistent with its strategies. The company expects to generate gross proceeds of 750 million from offering, with net proceeds after deducting offer related expenses amounting to around 724 million pesos. The proceeds will primarily be used for land acquisition, almost two-thirds, project development for about 30%, and the balance of 45% for general corporate purposes. The, follow- the following slides gives more details. For land acquisition, most of the funds will be for the new Antipolo projects and then the Bacoor project in Cavite, and both Antipolo and Bacoor being eyed for mid-market developments. About 100 million pesos is being allocated for our Calasiao project, which will be for economic housing developments. Total fund requirements for the land acquisition will be around 640 million pesos, and given that the IPO proceeds allocated amount to 426 only, the balance of around 178 will come from internally generated funds of Haus Talk. Note the funds will not be required at the same time, so there will be an opportunity for Haus Talk to earn out its other required funds. The funds allocated for project development of around 216 million pesos will be primarily for the development of the Mariveles Bataan project, a socialized housing project under BP 220 and in partnership with the Pag-ibig Fund. Finally, the company is allocating 45 million for general corporate purpose, primarily for the acquisition of construction equipment, hardware, and software. And these are a part of the strategies of HTI to the acquisition of the new technologies. Adjunct to the hardware and software, the company is also allocating about 10 million pesos for bringing in talentware who will occupy the senior positions in Haus Talk for company's IT initiatives, corporate governance, internal audit and control, corporate and investor communication, and corporate planning. The hiring of this senior executive level talent are deemed necessary as the company expands and grows its business and adapts to becoming publicly listed company. Next slide, please. So the issuer will be Haus Talk Incorporated, and the authorized capital stock of Haus Talk is 2.5 billion pesos, and par value of 1 peso per share. Issued and outstanding shares before the offer is 2 billion shares. Our offer will be only 500 million primary shares at 1 peso and 50 centavos per share. This will be only 20% of our total shares of stock. Next, please. We got our SEC approval last November 18 and also from the PSE last November 2, 2021. We got our SEC permit to sell last December 23, 2021, and our offer period started last January 3 and will be up to January 7. And our listing date will be January 17, 2022. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Rachel, for your presentation. Let me now call in the rest of the panel for the question and answer. Miss Agnes, I'm calling you back on stage. And also Sir Manny Ocampo. Hi, sir.
Sorry, good
You're
afternoon. Looks
Happy
like
New Year.
Happy New Year. The two ladies from Haus Talk already did the heavy lifting for this presentation. Thank you.
All right. So the audience is asking now. Wait, let me see the questions. Someone from Jerome Arsolon. Any future pipeline projects in Bulacan?
Maybe because we are for the first maybe 3 years, we will be focusing also in Luzon. But we're
Okay.
not closing our doors. If opportunity knocks for Visayas and Mindanao, we might consider it.
All right. By the way, later on, we will take note, we'll have a raffle. May nanghingi ng raffle. Mamimigay kami ng My Trade calendar later on. Thank you, Jerome, for the question. If you have a follow-up to Miss Rachel, just let us know. From Miggy Sato, just want to ask if bebenta rin ba yung share na public na 150 million share na nasa page 63 ng prospectus under dilution?
No, no, that will not be sold. That actually belongs to one of the shareholders also of the company. But the this shareholder came in with the family members in the past, but was not part of the lockup. No, but we've mentioned this that will also not be part of the sales now during the listing.
Thanks for that clarification, Sir Manny. So it's not going to be diluted, and I think 100% is primary shares as mentioned in the prospectus. Is that
That's right.
Yes.
correct?
That's right.
Okay. So for those who are newbies, primary shares, secondary shares, these are important items that you need to know in an IPO. Primary shares, ibig sabihin hindi siya kinuha from a mother share. Ito, ang original shares or primary shares. Ito yung talagang ni-release for the underwriting ng a particular IPO such as House Talk. Yeah. For any more questions? All right. So we will check with the we haven't checked the recommendation for House Talk yet in our short takes, but we will try to check it with our analyst afterwards. But you are feel free to ask questions to our panel right now. I think marami dito naghahanap ng bahay at lupa, especially during the pandemic. Is that right, Sir Manny? Even nga yung pagre-renovate ng bahay, umakyat yung sales because they've never been anywhere else but their houses and they can see all the repairs and naisip nga nila why not buy another house.
Yeah,
Ayan.
I think the condos tend to be claustrophobic after a while.
Hmm.
Having a house and lot product like what House Talk delivers is, and a lot of the House Talk projects are, while they're not high density, communities. Unlike maybe a few other developers who try to squeeze in as many people. No, even their economic housing projects, there's enough space to breathe around and move around.
Sir Manny, since si Sir Manny kasi was the one who told me about House Talk, I'm just curious, what particularly do you like about this project or this IPO?
Well, first the family members. I think when we met them, it becomes overwhelming to face all 11 of 10 or 11 of them. Kasi kasama na yung second generation. But you'll see that everybody will talk the business. And that was how would I put this? That was refreshing in the sense that the whole family was involved, and everybody had their assignments, if you'd like. So that's one thing. Now we've also seen progress wise or performance wise, the company has done quite well through the years. It's not as if they started lang 3 or 5 years ago, no, but they've been in the business really for a while, formally since the early 2000s, but they in fact go back as a family business even in what is it, Maita, 1990.
1990s. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's there. They're very they're very aware of the business, and they want to focus on what we call bite-sized communities. They will not do the townships that take forever and a day to complete and all that. But they will take a look at small townships, cute townships, if you'd like, and then start making a lot of these. No, in the areas where they are. I think you've seen that they have Eastview 1, 2, 3, and Southview 1, 2, 3. So they'll have to come up with new names, I guess.
We're coming up with the new names, actually, because just
Ayan.
for para ibang ano siya.
That's right.
So, from Aaron Ranke, should there be other land acquisitions for development? Will there be further fundraising activities? From Aaron Ranke, thank you for your question.
Not at this time, Aaron. Because we just want to focus first on what we have stated in our prospectus.
Ayan. So, thank you.
But
From
Maita,
yes,
in fact,
Yes.
sorry, I was going to say, in fact, with the revenues and the cash flows generated from some of the ongoing projects, there should be some excess, no? Like, the way I understood it, you don't need of course, these are big amounts that you have programmed for the big projects that you have ongoing,
Yes.
but the smaller size projects, the community projects, would cost a lot less. So, from regular cash flow, you should be able to take care of that already, right?
Yes. Yes. Actually, if you will see, we don't have any debt payments in our prospectus because from our existing projects, we can service our loans.
ayan. So that's good to know. From Jerome Bodosco, lowest price bracket of products. I think mas interesado yata siya mamili ng bahay. So from
Actually,
Jerome
for
Bodosco,
our Mariveles, that will be in Bataan. I think that's the lowest that we can give. It's around 750,000.
it's a bungalow
It's a
or
bungalow. It's gonna be a bungalow.
okay. All right, for someone from I think from the north, are there gonna be projects in Mountain Province?
Uh, as I mentioned a
Not
while
yet.
ago, we will be concentrating in Luzon. If there's a opportunity for a mountain province, why not? And there's a demand, why not? Because the
Okay.
6.7 million demand for the whole for the housing for the 6.7 backlog, that's the whole of the Philippines.
Okay. So for from Jerome Arsolon, is there a stabilization fund for HCI IPO?
Money.
Miss,
Sorry, how was that?
Is
is
there
there
a
a stabilization
stabilization fund?
fund for the HCI?
Stabilization fund. Formally, no.
Formally, no. Okay.
Formally, no.
From Aaron Aranque, and we've seen from the news and anecdotes higher costs in construction. Does this affect house stock as well? What is the rationale of pricing at the higher end of 1.50?
I'll let Maita take care of the
It's higher.
construction
Yeah.
cost. Now you're able to address that on the pricing at 150. It really was because of demand. So we didn't think it was right to bring it down any further because there was a fairly good demand supporting at 150. The other one, of course, is that it was difficult to come down at 150, where that's practically book value as well of the company. No, so um, the family might as well just have sold everything, and they would have gotten 150 on their own. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, about the construction cost, yes, there was a increase, but we were able to control it because we have our own team. So we have our own purchasing group, we have our own construction group. So we don't have any contractor that's why we can control the cost.
Okay. So someone's asking, I don't know if this is related. TMC is Lumivent technology. How about House Talk? What a branding differentiation? Is this something I'm not familiar with the question, but I think
I
there
think
is
that's
a
the
TMC,
spot
construction
branding
methodology or
yeah,
construction
methodology.
technology. Yeah.
methodology
Yes, we will have a plus wall technology.
plus wall. Ah, yeah, I've seen it in the
Yeah.
presentation. Okay, so there's an interesting question here from Rain. Why have you decided to have an IPO at this time wherein pandemic is affecting much the property sector?
To tell you honestly, okay, during the pandemic, our sales even increased. We were so surprised because onset of the pandemic, we were kind of worried. My family kind of worried, like, because we know everybody. I mean, everybody's was on lockdown. They have no work, no pay. But we were surprised in the middle of 2020, it picked up. And we were so surprised, even our ready for occupancy units that were turned over back to us were all sold. That's why, with or without COVID, housing is always a need for the family. It's always the dream of a Filipino family.
I think the change or the shift was because of the work from home initiatives of the companies. Those who are trying to stay in the city has suddenly have the chance to transfer to their
Yes,
respective
yes,
family houses. So family the places that yung originally that they're from. I
yes.
think that made them decide to have like and yung space of having a house and lot versus to a building. I think
Yes.
those were the things that made them shift to wala rin silang tatravelan eh. So I think that's high time malamang nasa back burner and then all of a sudden meron na silang sige bumili na tayo di rin naman
Tsaka
tayo
meron silang, yes, there's a garden kasi. Kasi we personally attend to the designs of each houses, the housing model namin.
that's what I've noticed too maganda hindi siya all construction there's a garden part
Yes.
in the
Oh.
house and lot.
Because
Yeah,
we always put ourselves like, if we're gonna be the buyer, are we gonna buy this house?
that's nice.
Yun. That's always our with our family.
Mindset niya.
That's our mindset.
I actually got interested when I saw the model houses. Kaya lang wala sa area na tinatanong ko nga. Pero may nakita ako na sinabi niyong area kanina. Okay, from Sam, what are the possible risks that the company sees in the near term? And is the company unaffected, especially the upcoming admin change?
Manny, can you answer for
Well,
the, I don't think with the, it's always, I think housing is always a need. So whoever, the coming election, I don't think it will affect our industry, the housing industry.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sir, the
as
admin
far as
change.
risks are concerned, maybe I'll say as much that traditionally interest rates have uh, a rise, a possible rise, or a meaningful rise in interest rates are the ones that really would affect the property industry. But you know, again, sectors in the industry or this, different sectors in the industry would be affected differently. The higher cost, speculative parts of the property industry may be more affected by a rise in interest rates as against an end use, market. No? That maybe becomes affected maybe by affordability. But having said that, I guess what people are also looking at would be possible credit risks or maybe defaults as you progress along the way. So House Talk has had a fairly good experience in that one. Not much defaults among their borrowers, and you guys are taken out very quickly anyway by Pag-ibig or
Yes,
back
and
financing. So they're able to
exactly.
pass off that risk at some point to the financial institutions.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So from Jerome Bodosco again, against Vita, what is House Talk? So he wants a comparison, I think.
House Talk is a medium-sized property development company. We deliver houses, house and lot, uh, at an affordable price with quality. Quality homes at an affordable price.
Alright. I think maganda na makita nyo din yung mga model houses. If you are near Antipolo, San Pedro, those are the areas that
Yes,
they're gonna have. I think the pictures alone are interesting enough to check it out. Ang daming naghahanap ngayon ng house and lot actually. And a property, if you're gonna invest on a property, might as well have yung land piece because that appreciates over time.
exactly.
Yung mga
So,
bahay
so
nga,
my
'di ba?
Tabela Vita is still on a higher price level, generally, right, compared to you
Yeah.
guys.
More premium, yeah.
More
The
premium
More
pa
premium.
na. We're on
Well, it's
the,
an Ayala company, yeah.
mm.
yeah.
Yung mga I think your target market are those young couples, those who are
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Yeah.
mm,
The first time home buyers.
the first time home
Home
buyers.
buyers, yes.
Also from Manoy's Finest, what's the difference between your market and those your bigger competitors already listed? I think is there a listed company that sells out house and lot?
Yeah, I think there is 8990.
8990 house, yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you differentiate their market versus your market? Well, is it the same?
Yeah, most likely it's the same, but we have different locations. Like
Yeah.
89,000, they don't have one in Laguna. In San Pedro, Laguna, they don't have also one in Antipolo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from Ronnie Gozon, how do you differentiate from the vast real estate companies? I think that's same question.
Yeah.
Yung the
Yeah,
house. As
maybe might they're looking for what sets you apart from the rest of the group.
First, this is all 100% family owned, no? And we are just a medium size developer. And we are not here doing an IPO to compete with them. We know where we are.
to pursue the projects that is in place to those areas or in location that they have previously mentioned. And
The demand backlog is big enough, shall we say,
Yes.
so that there's room for everybody. You just have to find the right location, the right product,
Yes.
the right price, I guess, no, to be able to attract the markets that you want.
Markets. Yeah.
from Wellian 52, this is a good question. HTI projects may not be as known outside its already existing areas. How will HTI go about educating its target market about its track record?
Uh, Maybe when we start developing, they will see us, how we develop, and how we construct each housing units. And then from there, they will see it.
Is
From
it
the broker,
digital or
yeah, they
are
will go digital.
are
That's
you
why
gonna
we
be
Yes, that's why we're as I we mentioned in our prospectus, we are investing in talent where so we can really more be digital.
Yeah.
all right? Because I want to
Maita, sorry, Maita, maybe you can explain the ongoing, the thought process of looking at Mariveles, for example, because that's a new area, and I think the question is really you're moving outside your normal area of
Yes,
operation. So
like yes.
how do you
In
approach that new market, if you like?
Mariveles kasi, Mariveles, Pag-ibig will help us market it. As per Pag-ibig, they have 60,000 members in
in that
that FIFO zone, yes. And we're only targeting 5% of that. And also with our other projects in Calasiao, this is also a very strategic location. It's within a commercial area. And then the Bacoor, it's also a very strategic location.
which
And
part of Bacoor? Kasi 'di ba may part ng Bacoor that medyo risk sa flood. Is it the part of Baco or which part of
No, no,
Baco?
no, no. It's on the higher one, higher
Okay.
ground.
So they
Higher
probably just
ground.
want to know that.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So from Roblox Pro, do you consider dividend soon or preferred share with a higher dividend yield or probably REITs? Baka yan yung gustong sabihin ni Roblox Pro.
Not do you, yes, we are. Of course, we will do that, but it will. We're still formulating, right, money, our dividend policy.
Yeah, and
Okay.
the company is still on a growth trajectory, so it will be using up funds at least over the next maybe medium term to execute on its different projects. No? At some point, it will start paying off dividends,
Dividends.
but yeah, maybe in the medium term, next next 2 3 years.
2 years.
There's a lot of projects in the pipeline already.
Okay. From, eto, kilala to ni Sir Manny. From Pia, on an investment perspective, is there a difference with a company listed on the SME board versus the main board?
I would tend to say that you know technically there isn't, but being an SME company, and we're required to mark that that you're an SME listing. You tend to lose out maybe the institutional investors, the big insurance companies, etc. But which is actually all right, at least for the meantime, because the shall we say the retail investors get in on this one first. House stock will eventually mature, grow bigger, etc. Once the market cap reaches the shall we say the sides of the institutional investors, you have a replacement now of you have new investors coming in. At that
Yes.
point, hopefully, house stock will be doing uh, as a follow-on offering that will justify it listing in the or moving up to the main board, and that's a different story altogether.
Okay. So there's someone who asked about the price range, and I think they want to know the percentage of of the margin of per project. So in the lower range, like for example, in a house of 700,000 worth, what how many percent is is the margin? Probably in terms of profitability. That's probably why he's asking it.
We average around 20%,
20 to 30%.
20 to 30%.
All right. So there, Mr. Jerome
But for
Badosco.
700,000, that's only around. The lower the price, the lower the margins will be.
Yes.
Hmm.
Because I've heard and I remember you said that you are focusing also on the quality
Yes.
of the housing. Yung
Yes.
I so which brings me to this question. Nauso yung parang styro in the middle of.
Yes.
So, ano ba yung difference nun between your house, and is that a methodology or technology, yung may styro sa gitna?
Yeah, meron siya. That's another technology, but the cost is, it will affect our cost.
Okay.
Kaya medyo ano din kami, we're choosing also, we don't sacrifice the quality and also the cost.
Okay. So is that, what type of methodology is that? Is that something that is on the premium end or in a cheaper end?
I think you have to do that for a medyo higher end.
Okay.
Because medyo mataas kasi. We tried it with one of our projects, but the cost it's kind of higher. So we said that, yeah, we'll go to another, we'll check another methodology.
Okay. Dami ko natututunan about houses and construction because of this. Are there any more questions? If none, any parting words to our viewers? I think they want to have like something that they can hold on to or think about during the offer period.
Um, I'll give it to Manny because he is our underwriter.
No,
All
no.
right,
Well,
Sir Manny.
you're the issuer, Maita. Yeah,
Yes,
please go ahead. I'll take the end part. Yeah.
yes. Just want ano, but House Talk is here. No, we want to we want also a win-win situation between our family and our investors. So we will try to do it. We will try our best. So our all our investors will be happy at the end, and it's worth investing for.
Well,
So
Maito
we
said it already. So let me just say that it's the first SME company listing, and I think there are a lot of eyes on it. With Definitely want to see it to be a successful one, and the company is pretty much committed also with that kind of outlook. No?
all right. Sir, may mga pahabol na question eh. Would you like to answer kung what other businesses that the family has? Do you have other businesses besides property and real estate?
Uh, for the moment, we only have the
Property.
real estate
Well,
business.
it's
Yes,
good that it's focused.
it's
Ayan. So
very
thank you so much. Thank you, Sir Manny. Thank you, Miss Agnes, Miss Rachel, for this afternoon. I think
Thank
our
you so
viewers,
much for
you're
inviting.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll see you soon. See you, Sir
See
Manny.
you. See you
Thank
again.
you. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, and there you have it. It's we don't have yet the we will check with Sir Nikki with regards to the recommendation for HTI, but if you want to consider, that will be 150 per share. As mentioned, this is the first SME listed in the market. Its listing date is on January 17, and also some plugins. We will give out some of the calendars dun sa mga viewers natin by answering some of the questions that we have today. All right, the first one is, what is the next event after our first week for 2022, which will happen on January 7 on Friday? The eighth answer that I'll be seeing on the comment section will be getting the our flip calendar, which is really pretty. It's a travel calendar. You'll see different destinations. It's originally made by our graphic artist, and it comes with different scenarios. Alam namin na grabe na yung urge natin to travel. So we have this for you guys. It's really pretty. It's a flip calendar. I normally don't use flip calendar, but when I saw it, I said, gusto ko siya gamitin. So let me know what is the next Wink episode for My Trade on January 7, 2021. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pang-8, yung pang-8 na sumagot. Ayan, we have 78 viewers right now. Thank you for tuning with us, and I hope that we will see you on Friday. And there are upcoming events for January 2022. Makikita natin that January pa lang punong-puno na yung calendar ng ating activities, and make sure to stay tuned by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and we also have YouTube. Subscribe if you want to see the past events that we had. And all right, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mr. Eric Gaban. Ay, hindi yan yung sagot. Ano sili? Ayan, for Jerome Badoso of FCG Wink. Ayan. So on Friday, January 7, we will have our analyst Rainier you to present to you the prospectus, and also to present to you the Figaro Group. Ikaw ba ay nagkakape or gusto nyo ng Angel's Pizza? You'll know more about it, and marami pa tayong products na ipresent. And on January 10, on Monday, the following, parang SPNEC na back-to-back, we will also have the touch base, which is getting to know the face behind the brand. We will also interview the owner or the president of Figaro Group. Ayan. So the winner is Jerome Bodoso. Please make sure that you message us, message our chat box or our Facebook group, our Facebook page, and tell that you are the winner for today's episode of Wink, and to leave your location so where we can send your calendar. Okay, next question is what day is the major event that will be happening this month? Alam namin na hindi pa namin sinasabi yung major event, but let us know ano yung major event what day is it, and we will send you the travel calendar of my trade. Yan. Sige. What day is it? Try nating i-upload the f- the fourth to answer the question correctly. It's a major event to be announced. What day is it? The fourth one to answer. Medyo mga parang antok ngayon ng audience natin, ah. Right. Please make sure that on Friday you'll be here 3 p.m. with Rainier. And on Monday, January 10, we will talk about more about Angel's Pizza, Figaro Coffee. Ano yan? So, eto na lang kukunin ko sagot. Miss Belle Sanchez, Happy New Year! That will be on Friday, January 14, is a major event for the year. Hulaan nyo kung ano yon. It will happen. The teaser will come out soon, but please make sure that you'll be available on January 14, Friday. Yan. Sabi ni William, Friday. All right. So the winner, Miss Belle Sanchez, please tell us which address would you want to send your calendar, and message us in our Facebook page. Thank you so much. We tagged you for the prize. Make sure that you tell us which one is. Okay, so please share all the events that's happening. Make sure that you subscribe on YouTube. So when we are live, sometimes we will have surprise live events here on our YouTube channel. So make sure that you are going to put the notification bell in active status. All right. With that, thank you so much. And I hope you have been winked this afternoon. And see you on Friday. Bye.